The holidays are here at MATC and we're ready to celebrate. We'll get a behind the scones look at what goes into making some of your favorite holiday treats. Plus, we'll take a look at an organization right here on campus that provides food to those in need around this season. All of this and more on this episode of MATC Now. Good afternoon and welcome to this week's episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, James Charles. Thanks for joining us. Today, I'll be accompanied in the studio by my co-host and an alum of MATC's TV and video production program, our very own student passion reporter, Shannon O'Dwyer. Shannon, great to see you. Thanks for coming back.
Great to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, as we think back on your time here at MATC, how has your education here in our program prepared you for the career you have now in the media?
I think one of the biggest things that this program did for me was give me a lot of hands-on experience that I was able to take into the field right away. I started freelancing right after school, and it also set me up with a pretty beefy resume.
All right, well, thanks for that, Shannon, and hopefully your success in media will lead others to do the same. We'll catch up later on, but first let's stroll on over to the MATC Food Pantry with field correspondent Akira Quinn. Akira.
Thanks, James. With the holidays around the corner, today we're here at MATC's downtown campus at the Pantry to learn how students and staff can receive free meals. Check in back with us soon because you do not want to miss this.
Thanks, Akira. We'll check in later to learn more. You know, before your favorite gift made its way from a retail shelf to your hands, it probably had a long trip to get there. Student producer Ethan Ramsey met up with supply chain management head instructor Dean LeBlanc to discuss his time in the industry and how crucial supply chain managers are to the success of the holiday hustle. But before that, Shannon O'Dwyer, our student passion reporter and our very own co-host here, and student producer Azael Alvarez explored how family is at the center of celebrating the holidays for one MATC student.
The holidays are a time where students can take a break from their school life and have some fun. Many of the students at MATC are ready for their time off to spend with friends and family. I'm Shannon O'Dwyer, and this is another Student Passion Report.
Amy Varela is enrolled in the Associate of Science program here at MATC, and she tells us why she feels the holiday break is so important.
For me, having a holiday break is the best thing ever because I get to spend time with myself. I get to prioritize other activities such as hobbies. I like to sing, I like to draw, I like to read. So being free and not having to stress out over like final exams, I feel in peace.
What are some of the events or plans that you have coming up?
I think my brother is gonna come for the New Year's and for Christmas, so we're probably just gonna hang out and have a nice dinner as always. I'm also gonna have some Friendsgiving activity with my friends, so I'm actually really excited for that because I'm gonna host it at my house.
Do you have any family or holiday traditions that you do around this time?
What I used to do in Costa Rica was that we reunited all of my younger cousins and we got them cookies and like icing for them to decorate cookies. So they all went to my house and then we were just spending time with each other, just decorating cookies. That's something that, it's not a traditional thing like from culture-wise, but it's something that we usually do every year.
Why do you enjoy the holiday season?
The reason why I enjoy the holidays is because it's the end of the year. I can't really say that much, but I'm a really grateful person. So because I have so much free time, I get to spend more time with my family, friends, and just overall be grateful about how the whole year went. And even if it wasn't like the best year, or even if it was the best year, I just get the time to like appreciate the moments and the things that I've learned this year and how it changed me to be a better person. So it's something that I really like about the holidays. It's just maybe like the feeling of it and the nostalgia and just like being inside and just being cozy with watching movies.
Can you tell me about one of your favorite holiday memories?
One of my favorite holiday memories is when I used to go to my grandma's house on Christmas Eve, and we reunited with all my cousins and all my family members, and she has a tradition to do like this pork ribs, and it's really good. It's really good. It's my favorite food actually, because it's something that I only get to eat like once a year.
I'm Shannon O'Dwyer, and this has been a Student Passion Report.
The holidays are around the corner, and shopping for gifts is starting to get into full swing. Supply chain managers around the world are gearing up to make sure that all goods make it to where they need to go. Dean LeBlanc is the lead instructor of the Supply Chain Management program at MATC and has spent years helping the next generation of managers find their footing in the world of shipping goods. Years of experience working in the industry and 11 years of experience as an instructor at MATC, Dean has not only helped students to grow the skills needed to work in supply chain management, but has also continued to work on strengthening his own.
One of the biggest things I learned as being a faculty member here at the college is being able to meet the students where they're at. We have students coming into the program that are very entry level. They might have heard of supply chain, but they really don't have any practical experience. And on the other side of the spectrum, I might have seasoned supply chain professionals just lacking the degree. And so what we try to do is tailor the educational experience depending on your experience and ultimately what you're looking to get out of the program. Supply chain management is critical to every country, every citizen throughout the year, but especially the holiday season. This market in the US in 2024 is just under $1 trillion. And so supply chain plays a critical role, not only in delivering goods and services to end users, but also to retailers as well, as they need to move product in and out of their stores, and from facility to facility, from store to store. And so supply chain management is a pivotal part of having retail success for retailers that, quite frankly, make about 60% of their gross revenue is made throughout the holiday season.
Dean has helped and continues to help students step into management and executive level positions in the supply chain industry. And during the holidays, those who graduated being taught by Dean are ready for any challenge thrown their way.
You know, it's amazing to see how well MATC prepares its students to easily handle the craziness of the holiday rush, don't you think?
It sure is, James. Schoolwork is important, but spending time with loved ones is a key part of enjoying the holiday season too.
And while Amy gets ready to celebrate the holidays, let's check in with field correspondent Akira Quinn over at the MATC Food Pantry to find out how they're spending the holidays. Akira.
Hey James, today we're here at MATC's downtown campus, and I'm here with Nadia Ramirez. Nadia, could you tell us about your position here?
Hi, I am the Student Resource Specialist at MATC. So my job is to help connect MATC students with community resources and also resources within the college. As part of my job, I oversee all of our 5 food pantries that we have.
Could you tell us about the 5 food pantries that you have here?
So all of our pantries can be visited by students that are currently taking classes at MATC. All that is required is that you're actively enrolled and that you have a student ID number. Today we're our downtown location, which is such a great day for you to come because starting tomorrow we will be transitioning to being by appointment only just here at downtown.
And what are your hours of operation here?
So our hours are, we're closed.
And over here, I see it's a little spacious area right here. Can you tell us about the stocking process?
So Mondays are our stocking days. So I have a crew of about 6 student workers that are going to come in, and they're going to help me fully stock around noon so that we can get our shelves looking their best for tomorrow when we open at 10 a.m.
And you have some crackers, you have cereal, and I look over here, you have a fridge. Are there perishable goods in here?
Absolutely. So every week we get a selection of eggs, cheeses, yogurt, a wide variety of beverages. But our most popular item when it comes to the fridge is going to be the pre-made meals that the culinary students from the food advocacy class make for us. Yeah, and this week on the menu we have turkey or ribs.
Oh, that sounds good for Thanksgiving. And I have to ask this, what are your holiday plans?
Well, I'm just looking to get some self-care, do some shopping, but most importantly, eat a lot.
Well, thank you, Nadia, for being here. This is some good information. I encourage you students to come down here and get some food for Thanksgiving. Back to you, James.
Thank you, Akira. The food pantry certainly looks like a great place to stock up on those holiday groceries you may need for the season. Don't you think there's so, Shannon?
Absolutely, James. It's so great that the food pantry can not only provide students with the essentials that they need, but some holiday treats as well.
And speaking of those festive treats, MATC's Baking and Pastry Arts program is certainly the place to go when you're craving those sugar plums. Student producers Max Martinson and Alexis De Jesus give us a look into the world of flour and butter. But first, music can also be a vital part of the holidays, and student producer Aiden West got in tune with an upcoming student musician who's ready to share his voice with the world.
MATC allowed me to learn about music, performing it, writing it, the technical. This is My Dad Would Like to Be Santa, written by Graham Craven, composed by Jacob Ajwalski. I started playing the clarinet in 4th grade in elementary school. That's how I got started, and ever since then, I haven't been able to shake off the music bug. His belly's getting bigger, his hair is turning white, his eyes shine and sparkle like the stars on Christmas night. He couldn't fit down chimney. You know, this is my first piece, and I wanted to write it in a style and a genre in which I like the Christmas and the festival, and a lot of people are happy, and there's a lot of good energy around. So I just like to encapsulate that in my music, and if there's something I would bring into the world, I hope it would be, you know, happy and with glee. So until they do advertise the job. This is one of the first pieces I've ever written. I've always had a thing for Christmas music. I love how jazzy you can get. I love the jingle bells and, you know, the different Christmas sounds. Boots and matching belt, but his smile is warmer than the sun that can make the snow tops melt. He likes a nip of brandy, it sets his cheeks aglow when he forgets words to carol. I think with the harmonies and the instruments, the different arrangements, with music you can encapsulate the spirit of the holidays in such a way where it's so powerful and very meaningful to the listener. So until they do advertise the job, give all his love to me, to me, to me. MATC is just a good stepping stone to get to where I want to be as a professional musician. I couldn't have done it without them.
As the snow falls upon MATC and the holiday season approaches, everyone looks forward to sharing holiday treats with friends and loved ones. And if you love to bake, then the Baking and Pastry Arts program at MATC might be for you. Whether students are interested in cakes, cookies, or pies, the Baking and Pastry program offers a wide variety of knowledgeable instructors and staff to provide students with their expertise. Baking and pastry instructor Holly Bauman helps to fuel and support the dreams of aspiring pastry artists.
With baking and pastry, of course there's a ton of YouTube opportunities out there and reels and videos that show people how to do these types of techniques, but there's nothing like hands-on experience. Even those online schools, they're great for teaching you ingredient functions, baking principles, but to actually see with your eyes what is happening chemically, or how ingredients react with each other to create the products that we are, is invaluable.
But students in the Baking and Pastry program will learn more than just the basics. The program's curriculum also allows for instructors to be heavily involved in the learning process for students. Baking and pastry instructor Kurt Fogel takes pride in connecting with his students on a deeper level.
Our program is a little bit different in that we work one-on-one or in close proximity with our students on a daily basis. So we constantly have each other's attention. So there's a little bit more of a connection there than some of the traditional lecture classes. In this program, we really get to know our students well, and we try really hard to make sure that they know we're there for their success.
Kurt is also one of the leading faculty who manage the 6th Street Cafe on the first floor of the M building of the downtown campus. The cafe is run by students from the Baking and Pastry program that provides them with a unique opportunity to gain experience that they can use further into their career.
Some of the classes that our students take include a chocolate and sugar candies class. This class that we're in right now is the cafe operations class. And here we run an actual cafe 3 days a week with our students rotating through a variety of different stations that would prepare them for working in the industry.
And while all of this is going on, towards the end of the fall semester, students will get the opportunity to showcase their creativity in making holiday gingerbread houses throughout the holiday season.
This is my first year being in charge of the gingerbread competition. So how this kind of works is however many students we have, they will spend basically the whole month of November getting their houses all done. And then we actually transfer them down to the public market. The public market puts on a banquet for us, and then they display the houses for the Christmas season, and then local businesses actually silent auction buy them and then display them in their businesses for the rest of December. So it's not only a college engagement, but it's also community-wide engagement, which makes it really special.
And while students are still encouraged to express their creativity, Holly and Kurt remain dedicated to making sure that students understand and acknowledge the challenges that could come with a career in this industry.
In my opinion, what makes a good pastry artist is a really strong level of creativity, right? But more importantly, they have to have the drive to push themselves through this. You know, this is a very challenging career. The thing I hope that students take away is a sense of pride and dedication, and to understand that the world is their oyster. Whatever you put into this career, you can take out of it. And I love seeing them kind of cross that bridge and figure out that they can do things they thought they couldn't before.
So, if you love working in the kitchen, then the Baking and Pastry program may be for you. But if not, stop by the 6th Street Cafe to try a croissant anyway.
Music really speaks to the heart of this time of year. If you want to see Jacob's full song, you can check it out on the MATC TV and Video Production Facebook page. Maybe you can even nibble a gingerbread treat while you're listening. And speaking of the art of baking, joining us now is the educational assistant in the Baking and Pastry Arts program, Angela Burke. Angela, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, looking at that package and thinking about all the things one can create in the kitchen, what would set MATC's baking program apart from other schools, for example?
Well, MATC is the only accredited associate's degree program in the city of Milwaukee. So we teach our students not only how to bake breads and beautiful cookies and pastries, but we also provide them with a basis for savory cooking as well, because oftentimes when you get out in the industry, you need to have a wide variety of skills base. So also, I think what's interesting about Milwaukee MATC is that we're based in Milwaukee. So a lot of the restaurants, cafes, and catering companies are based right here. So they're able to make connections very easily, being that we're located downtown.
Oh, of course.
So kind of with that, with some of the careers that students can get afterwards, is there any expected growth in this industry?
Obviously, we had a setback with the pandemic, but things are starting to pick up. You can see that there's a lot of new restaurants and cafes opening up. And so what employers are looking for right now are employees that have a strong foundation. And we really strongly believe that our program provides our students with the skills that they need to be successful out in the industry. And it is growing right now.
Now, at MATC, so many of our faculty and staff are experts in the field. When you went from doing to teaching, what was your greatest challenge to overcome at helping people learn what you were already good at?
So when you're out in the industry, it's very fast paced. So coming back to the school and teaching, you need to kind of set yourself back with a beginner's mind, which can be a little bit challenging. But I love working with the students and showing them and teaching them how to make something for the first time, and then seeing them advance in their own skills throughout the program. And it's really fantastic.
So being that it is the holiday season, could you tell us a bit about how baking and pastry making relates to the holidays, and maybe something that you like to bake around this time?
Yes, definitely. I mean, baking is obviously synonymous with the holidays. With Thanksgiving coming up this week, what do we think of? The turkey, of course, but pecan pie, pumpkin pie, and we actually sell pies here at the 6th Street Cafe that students, faculty, administrators, and community members can purchase for their upcoming feasts on Thursday. My favorite is the chocolate bourbon pecan pie.
All right.
In addition, we sell Christmas cookies closer to the holidays in December, and we do an assorted array of Christmas cookies. And I think, you know, when I think of the holidays, I think about the special treats that my grandmother made and my mom made, and how I learned how to make those myself. And one of my favorite things to make is a Croatian treat called Spitzbugen, which has a plum jam, a shortbread crust, a little bit of cinnamon and cloves and different spices, and it's really delicious and it's really unique. And I think for our pastry students and baking students, they learn how to make so many different things here, and they obviously have that connection with what they learned as kids, and hopefully they can continue that on with the next generation, what they've learned here in our program, and then teaching that on to their own kids.
Great memories, and applying that to your future knowledge. That's great, Angela. And thanks for joining us today. We hope that you know, what you've said here and taught us today will inspire others to do the same. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Well, it smells like it's time for Season's Eatings Next Door in the kitchen, where Chef Aiyana is covering everything she sees in chocolate and powdered sugar. Happy holidays, Chef Aiyana. How are you?
I'm well, and happy holidays to you. Now, don't get me wrong, we love all holidays, but today we're focused on the spirit of Christmas. With presents and sharing comes the craving for a great snack. We'll be making Christmas puppy chow today. So for today, we will need 2 pots or bowls, as well as Chex, M&Ms, peanut butter, red and green candy melts, and powdered sugar, as well as our gallon-sized bags. So both candy melts were preheated with a 1/4 cup of peanut butter added to each of them, and we did so for 30 seconds. Also, we're using pots with boiling water to heat these bowls rather than a regular microwave, but a regular microwave is fine. So then you'll want to stir the melts thoroughly to make sure that the heat is evenly distributed. We just put this red one on to go, but we've got this green bowl ready and melted for you. Pro tip, it does need to be cooked for a minute, but you want to make sure to take it off the heat in 30-second intervals and be quick with the mixings, because the melt will cool and harden fast. So now that we've got this fluid melt right here, we're going to add in about 4 cups of Chex Mix. You can use a little less or a little more depending on your preferences. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now be gentle, because this Chex is very fragile. You don't want to accidentally break it or smash it while you're mixing in the candy melt and the peanut butter. But you do want to make sure that you get every piece of cereal coated thoroughly and completely. Once you have that done, you're going to want to get your bag prepared. Before we can get our cereal and our candy melt in the bag, we're going to want to take that cup and take a cup of powdered sugar and drop it in that bag first. Next, we'll take our bowl of candy melts and checks, bring it all over to our end, and make sure that we're being very careful that we drop it all in one go. Now that we've got our checks and our candy melt in the bag, we're gonna mix it up gently but thoroughly. You're gonna wanna make sure your Ziploc bag is zipped real tight. The seal is completely done, but there still is an air pocket in your bag. This will help us shake the sugar around and coat these thoroughly. Now that we have that coated, on this pan here, I have some red candy melt puppy chow that we made earlier, and we're just gonna build on top of that, pouring our green mix right on top. Taking our rubber spatula and spreading it out. And for a final garnish, we'll just take some M&Ms, red and green, or whatever holiday colors you prefer, and sprinkling that on top. We'll also just go right in with our hands and just give it a nice good toss. So we have that beautiful blend of red and green that is so iconic for Christmas. There we have it, our Christmas puppy chow. Happy holidays, and back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that recipe, Aiyana. That puppy chow sure does look tasty. Now let's see what James has for us in this week's MATC Minute.
Tonight, the MATC women's basketball team will play the Waubonsee Community College Chiefs starting at 5:30 p.m. And stay tuned because at 7:30 p.m. the men's team will hit the court against the Waubonsee Chiefs men's team. You can watch both games live on the MATC Athletics YouTube channels. Go Stormers! Not feeling festive yet? Well, maybe the smell of gingerbread will help. Tomorrow, Tuesday the 26th, you can head on down to the Create Gallery at MATC to admire the Baking and Pastry Arts Student Gingerbread House competition. Their beautiful works of gingerbread art will be on display at MATC until December 4th. MATC students, we know you've been working very hard this semester. Luckily, you finally get a well-deserved break starting later this week. This Wednesday, the 27th, is a non-student contact day. Then immediately following, all MATC campuses and facilities will be closed Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving break. Classes are scheduled to resume as normal on Monday, December 2nd. For all these events and more, go to our website at matc.edu/events.
Thanks for that, James. We wish the Stormers the best of luck. The holidays are right around the corner, and we're approaching the perfect weather for ice skating. Let's skate on over to the Wilson Ice Arena and join student producer Latea Booker for this week's Hidden Gem KE.
I'm student producer Latea Booker, and this is another Hidden Gem KE.
I'm here at Wilson's Ice Arena, where you can rent ice skates and get on the ice and have an amazing time, whether it's learning how to skate or just skating. Wow, look at that ice. Imagine sitting here in these seats watching a hockey game or a figure skating competition. Always be sure to bundle up because it gets very cold in here. Wilson Ice Arena has game boxes, concession stands, and also millions of trophies from figure skaters and hockey games. Wilson Ice Arena has been up and running since 1967. It's one of many ice arenas here on Milwaukee's South Side. Yeah, he's gonna need some practice.
I'm student producer Latea Booker, and this is another Hidden Gem KE.
Wilson Arena sure looks like a good place to lace up my skates and hit the ice. Now, before we skate on out of here, I want to thank both of you for being on the show today.
Thanks for
Shannon,
having
Angela.
us.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And thanks to all of you for tuning in to another episode of MATC Now. Now, the holidays are just getting started, so don't forget to join us for our next episode when we close out the year together. I'm your host, James Charles. We hope you'll join us again next time. Happy holidays, everyone.